Many people skip right past Coastal Delaware on their way to Ocean City or even sometimes the Outer Banks, but Coastal Delaware is packed with next level experiences that most never even hear about. I'm talking about real local favorites too, not just your typical tourist traps that you may hear about. So today we're covering our 5 favorite things about Coastal Delaware that you may not know about. First up, we've got our incredible beaches. Delaware packs 6 completely different beach towns into just 28 miles of coastline, each with its own distinct personality. And that's what makes this area truly special, is you can have completely different experiences depending on which beach town you choose. Let's start with Rehoboth Beach, which is absolutely the highlight of Delaware's coast. It's nicknamed the nation's summer capital because so many Washington, D.C. residents and politicians have vacation here, and Rehoboth was really put in the spotlight for being President Biden's vacation destination of choice. Now, you can't spend the day on Rehoboth Beach without taking a stroll on the boardwalk. Rehoboth's boardwalk is a perfect mix of nostalgic charm and modern attractions, including the infamous Funland, which has been family owned and operated since 1962, with classic amusement rides and games that won't break the bank. They truly have kept costs low even when others have not. But what makes Rehoboth unique is the food traditions that go back generations. Thrasher's Fries has been serving up the same recipe since 1929, known for no ketchup and instead drizzling them with apple cider vinegar. I know it sounds strange, it's not necessarily my thing, but people go absolutely crazy for them. Now, moving on to what we call our quiet resorts, we've got Bethany Beach and Fenwick Island, and they offer the same gorgeous shoreline but with a much more peaceful vibe. Bethany has that perfect small town atmosphere. It's got a boardwalk as well, and it's less commercial, but you still have everything that you need right there. Then there's Dewey Beach, which is where you want to be if you're looking for a more energetic scene. I mean, this place transforms at night with waterfront bars like the Rusty Rudder and then the world famous Starboard restaurant hosting live music all summer long. And Dewey is known for its nightlife scene and the incredible energy that it brings. It truly is special. What I love about our beach towns is that you can literally beach hop throughout the day and experience completely different things in each different town. You can start your morning with a peaceful sunrise in Bethany, spend the afternoon on Rehoboth's lively boardwalk and beach, and then head out for a night on the town in Dewey at night. It's really an incredible thing to have such variety in such a small area. Now, while our beaches are obviously the big draw, locals know some of Delaware's most breathtaking coastal views aren't on the ocean at all. But first, if you made it this far in the video, you're probably enjoying the content, so be sure to hit that subscribe button down below to stay in the loop each week when we post new videos with local tips, real estate insights, and updates from around Coastal Delaware to keep you in the know. All right, this next spot is absolute gold. Cape Henlopen State Park has something you pretty much can't find anywhere else on the East Coast. A spot where you can both watch the sunrise and the sunset over water all in the same day. Plus, there are miles of trails and activities to keep everyone entertained. Cape Henlopen sits on 5,000 acres right where the Delaware Bay meets the Atlantic Ocean, and it creates this awesome peninsula where you can face east in the morning and watch the sun come up over the Atlantic, and then turn around in the evening and watch it set over the Delaware Bay. Now, the park has an awesome free borrow a bike program where you can check out bikes for up to 2 hours at absolutely no cost. It's perfect for exploring the 5+ miles of trails that wind through all kinds of different ecosystems. You got maritime forests, tidal marshes, sandy beaches. I mean, really the works. My go-to is typically Gordon's Pond Trail. It takes you on this super cool trail. It's got some elevated boardwalks, and it runs through some wetlands that are packed with wildlife. You'll spot things like herons and egrets, and if you're lucky, you might even be able to spot a bald eagle or two. And it's the kind of place that makes you totally forget that you're just a couple hours from places like Philly, Baltimore, and DC. But Cape Henlopen isn't just pretty views and bike trails. It's also home to Fort Miles, which is an old World War II coastal defense site that has been converted into a museum, and it's pretty fascinating stuff. During World War II, this was a key spot guarding the Delaware Bay and the shipping channel into Philadelphia, and you can check out these massive artillery batteries, old barracks, and even climb up in an old observation tower that gives you these insane panoramic views stretching something like 14.5 miles. On clear days, you can actually see New Jersey from up there. And what's so awesome about Cape Henlopen is how it mixes outdoor fun, nature, and history really all in one. You can spend your morning biking, you can take a break to climb one of those towers we talked about, then you can hit the beach in the afternoon, and it's why many locals love it so much, including my family. There's always something new to discover there. Oh, and here's a pro tip. Try to visit during the off season if you can. Summer definitely gets busy in Cape Henlopen, but the spring and fall are absolutely magical. You'll have most of the trails practically to yourself. There's tons of parking, and honestly, the wildlife is way better to see when there's not a million people stomping around. And by the time you're done exploring at Cape Henlopen, you're gonna be starving, which is perfect because now I get to show you why so many call this area the Culinary Coast. Here's a fun fact. Delaware's coast has actually trademarked the name the Culinary Coast, and it's not just some marketing gimmick. dynamic. Our food scene is legitimately incredible, and honestly, it's one of the big reasons that many people choose to plant their roots here, because you can't really find the variety in many other areas. So let's jump into what we're famous for. Mostly it's seafood, and more specifically, it's blue crabs. Delaware fishermen pull in about 4 million pounds of blue crabs each and every year, which is an insane number when you think about it. And what's cool about our food scene is we got options ranging from super casual to fancy, white tablecloth places and everything in between. Now, for a local experience, you've got to check out Matt's Fish Camp. Don't let the laid back vibe fool you. Their seafood is great. They make this Delaware style clam chowder that's totally different from that thick New England stuff that you might be used to. It's a clear broth. It's on the lighter side, but it's still packed with flavor. It's truly incredible. Now, if you're looking to splurge a bit, Lewis Oyster House is where to go to celebrate. Their raw bar has local oysters that were likely harvested just shortly before they land on your plate, and you can 100% taste the difference when seafood is that fresh. But hey, we're not just all about seafood. We do have restaurants covering just about every culinary style, from sushi to burgers to steaks to barbecue and everything in between. You could try something new every night for a year and still not hit them all. And then there's our weird but awesome tradition, French fries with apple cider vinegar. I know I mentioned it earlier, and I know it sounds weird, but it's worth repeating. Thrashers on the Rehoboth Boardwalk, they nail it. They've got hot, salty fries, and they can add that tangy kick of vinegar. The line at Thrashers on a summer afternoon tells you everything you need to know about how much people love their fries, because it gets quite lengthy. Now, for something sweet, you've got to hit up Dolly's for saltwater taffy. This place has been a Boardwalk staple since 1926, and they still make their taffy fresh every day. They've moved from the Boardwalk location to just a few doors down, but they still turn out great candies day in and day out. What makes our food scene so special is how you can mix fancy dining with casual beach eats all in one day. You can start with breakfast at places like Crystal in Rehoboth, which is one of my favorites. It's a total local secret that tourists usually miss. You can grab Thrasher's fries for lunch and then finish with an epic seafood dinner, all without leaving the same town. And I haven't even touched on our farm to table scene. We're surrounded by amazing farmlands, and tons of our restaurants get ingredients straight from these local farms. And this means menus that change with the seasons and showcase the absolute best of what Delaware has to offer all year round. Now, while you're letting all that incredible food settle, it's the perfect time to check out the historic towns that truly give this area the special character that it has. Everyone knows that Delaware was the first state to ratify the Constitution back in 1787, and that's why we're known as the first state. But what most visitors totally miss is just how crazy deep our history actually runs, especially along the coast. We look at places like Lewis. This place was founded in 1631. That's almost 150 years before the American Revolution even happened. Locals proudly call it the first town in the first state. The Dutch set it up as this whaling and trading port called Zwanendale. When you're walking around downtown Lewis, it feels like you've time traveled or something. The colonial character is well preserved, and there's this amazing little museum called the Zwanendale Museum that literally looks like it was pulled straight out of Amsterdam. It's packed with artifacts from when this area was first settled. It's a really cool spot to check out. During the War of 1812, the British started bombing the town because the locals straight up refused to give them supplies, and one of their cannonballs smacked into a house on Pilot Town Road. And get this, the mark is still standing there today. You can literally touch a dent in history that's been there for over 200 years, and they even have a cannonball lodged in the foundation. Then there's our maritime stuff, which is super interesting. The Indian River Life Saving Station is this fully restored museum where you can see what life was like when shipwrecks were happening all along our coast hundreds of years ago. Back before the Coast Guard was even a thing, these life-saving stations were the only hope you really had if your ship was going down. The whole place is preserved exactly like it was in the late 1800s. These guys were saving lives with just rowboats and guts. They didn't have any fancy equipment or helicopters or nothing. I mean, it's just incredible. Then we have the awesome World War II history in the Cape Henlopen State Park that we touched on before, with their various museums and decommissioned bunkers. It really is cool taking a step back in time and just taking it all in. Now, what's great about these historic spots is they're not packed with tourists taking selfies. They're the real deal. They're authentic pieces of American history that make you appreciate this area on a whole different level. Plus, they're perfect for those days when it rains or when you're just looking a little too pink from sitting out on the beach too long. All right, after soaking up all the cool history, it's time to talk about something everyone loves, saving some serious cash. So this next perk might not sound as sexy as gorgeous beaches or amazing food, but listen up, it's a huge reason why people love living and visiting here. In Delaware, we pay 0 sales tax. That means residents save 6 to 10% on literally everything they purchase compared to folks in neighboring states. I mean, it doesn't sound like much, but trust me, it does add up pretty fast. The Tanger outlets in Rehoboth are a major highlight whenever I'm talking to clients about moving to Delaware. We've got over 100 brand name stores spread across 3 different shopping centers. We've got everything from the fancier side to just everyday basics, and you're saving twice. You've got once because it's outlet prices, and then again with 0 0 sales tax. And here's a local hack: avoid the outlets like the plague during peak times like Black Friday or even rainy days in the summer. They get absolutely mobbed with people just looking to save a little bit of money. Instead, hit them up on sunny weekday mornings. You'll practically have the place to yourself. I can't tell you how many clients who've relocated here are always talking about how much money they save just by doing their normal shopping versus where they came from and here in Delaware. Now, let me break it down for you. Say you're buying a new fridge, for instance, for $1,000. You're instantly saving $60 to $100 compared to buying the exact same thing just a few miles down the road across the state line. For families living here, that's thousands of dollars in savings every year just by existing on the Delaware side of the border. But there's way more to our shopping scene than just those outlets. Downtown Rehoboth and downtown Lewis have all these amazing boutiques and galleries and specialty shops. And remember, everything is still tax-free. These downtown areas have a totally different feel from the outlets. They're super walkable, full of character, and they're packed with unique stuff that you won't find in any malls. One of our go-to spots is Kids Catch, which I loved when I was a kid, and now I love seeing my daughter's eyes light up as we walk into this toy store. It's an awesome toy store right there in downtown Lewis, and what makes many of these boutique spots so special is that almost all of them are owned by locals who actually live here and work here year-round. They're not just selling you stuff, they're actually a part of the community and care about what happens here, and it's kind of a unique feel to our area. Between the outlet deals and the one-of-a-kind boutique finds, Delaware is seriously a shopper's dream, and the cherry on top, after a day of shopping, you can grab dinner and drinks at any of our amazing restaurants, and you guessed it, pay no sales tax on your meal there either. So there you have it. Coastal Delaware feels like a permanent vacation when you live here. We've got great beaches, we've got state parks, got incredible food, we've got more history than you can keep up with, and tax-free shopping. That's why many visitors end up moving here full-time. These 5 experiences blend into a lifestyle where you can bike at sunrise, explore historic Lewis, and enjoy a locally sourced dinner without feeling like a tourist ever. Now, that's a lifestyle that is certainly worth signing up for if you ask me. If you have plans on buying or selling a home here in Coastal Delaware, my team and I would love to be your real estate resource of choice. We've now helped hundreds of clients with their real estate needs, and we would love to help you too. So you'll find all of our contact information down below in the description. And if you want to learn more about life in Coastal Delaware, make sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter, The Tide Report, where we dive into everything going on along the coast, from events to new restaurants to new developments and so much more. And you can find the link to sign up down in the comments. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you on the next one. Peace.